For the past 35 years, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival has been a cross-cultural celebration of the funniest people in the world. Take me, for example. As you can see, I am part Irish. And of course, some of the best performers come out of Malaysia. My dad, Chan, is a big deal on the ukulele scene. Oh, and yeah, Malaysia's produced some great comedians as well. Serene is the funniest accountant around, which is huge because accountants are hilarious. Anytime my accountant tells me anything about my finances, I just laugh and laugh and laugh. Here's Serene.
Hello Melbourne, it's great to be here in Melbourne. I was just doing shows in Adelaide recently, right? And this is a little trade secret of the industry. I don't know if you know this, but when you perform comedy, right, it helps if you're lower status than the audience, right? Because they won't laugh if they think that you think you're better than them, right? And that makes doing comedy in Adelaide virtually impossible. Just a month of silence, right? But I was there, I accidentally left my portable Bluetooth speaker back home, right? And that made me very sad because I love it so much. I reckon my two most important things in my life are my girlfriend and my portable Bluetooth speaker, right? And she's only first because she gave me the speaker. I love it. I don't know if you know this about Bluetooth speakers, right? But if you've been away from them for too long, they act as if they don't even know who you are, right? If you can't relate, just think about the first time Nana forgot your face. That's how that feels, right? If it happens to you, what you have to do is you press the little Bluetooth button, right? And it goes through all the previous pairings. And I did it, I pressed it. It was like my girlfriend's phone, my laptop. I pressed it again, right? And it was Rich's iPhone. I don't know, Rich? Who the fuck, are you Rich? Who the fuck's Rich? I texted my girlfriend, like I'd been away from her for too long. I just started to make all these stories up in my head. I texted her, I was like, who's Rich, ? And she didn't get it. She responded, oh, that's great, babe, you won the raffle. Which... I just freaked out, like, because I don't know, I made this all up in my head, but I could think of nothing worse, right, than learning from your Bluetooth speaker that your relationship's over, right? Like, that would mean some dude named Rich, right, he hooked up with my girlfriend, but also some dude named Rich listened to his music through my fucking speaker, right? I gotta be honest, those are both hurtful pairings. I asked my girlfriend who Rich was. She said, you're just paranoid. It doesn't even exist. Just relax, right? But I'm not proud of this. I didn't believe her. Like, I got on her Facebook and I looked up everyone called Rich. And then I just found them in real life, right? And I walked behind them like a metre back. Just trying to see if they'd pair with my Bluetooth speaker. My name's Serene. You've been so much fun. See you later.
Picture a comedian with a razor-sharp wit, the voice of an angel, and the ukulele skills of my dad. And you've got Hanan Aslan. Check out this multi-talented legend.
Hello everybody. Hi, my name is Hanan. I'm from Malaysia. I come from a mixed race family. My mother is half Malay, half Chinese, and my father is white, which is why I'm here tonight. Which one of you is my real father? Daddy? I'm only playing. I only said that because you look like a runner. This is the first song that I ever wrote about a boy. I watch from the sidelines, thinking of you and thinking of you again. You. You occupy all the space in my mind. I want to be your special friend. And I watch from the sidelines, so dreaming of you of you again. It really hurt when you said you didn't know me because you were my one and only. And I watch from the sidelines. I'm hiding again and again and again. How could you say that our love was a crime when I'm just tired of playing pretend? We walked down to the park. I followed you home when it got dark. I'm sorry I gave you a scar, but that's not my fault. I told you not to struggle when I tied you up in my car. That song was called Shh, Stop Screaming, Brian. This is a song that I wrote about my parents. I resent you. Thank you very much, guys.
Hello Australia, my name is Brian Tan, Malaysian comedian, and I was lucky enough to be invited to perform at your prestigious Melbourne International Comedy Festival way back in 2015. It's been a while, but it still remains one of my best experiences ever. Prior to that, I've never witnessed so many different types of comedy before, so many different types of performers before, and especially so many different types of coffee before. That's right, Melbourne. You guys know your coffee, alright? It has helped me become a better comedian back home here in Malaysia. I've learned to better express myself in the things I really want to talk about and the things I care about. I was also there during my birthday month, and the comedian buddies back there managed to throw me a birthday surprise that only a city like Melbourne can give you, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I still remember that night. It was fantastic. I'm thoroughly impressed by how the city of Melbourne managed to embrace comedy to its fullest. It is a festival unlike anything out there in the world and should be experienced by everybody, comedian or not, at least once in their lifetime. Thank you, Melbourne. Thank you, Government of Australia, for giving me this opportunity, and I hope to be back there soon one day. Thank you.
The Melbourne International Comedy Festival is an enormous buffet of comedy packed with stand-up, sketch, and everything in between. But I hope you haven't filled up on comedy yet, because here's British-Malaysian sensation Phil Wang. Filled up, because his name is Phil, and I won't apologise for loving a pun.
All right. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Phil Wang. Yeah, all right, Philly Wang Wang, here at last, yeah. Old Wangnam style, down under, okay. Lovely to be in Australia. When I perform in Australia, I often get introduced as all the way from the UK. And I always feel like audiences are a little disappointed when it's me that comes on stage. You know, like the host goes, all the way from the UK, and you're like, ooh, the UK. Maybe he'll be wearing a bowler hat, twirling a cane on a penny farthing. And then the host is like, Phil Wang, and then I come on, and you're like, oh, we've got those in town. So sorry. I'm mixed race though, I'm mixed race, so chill out, it's okay. I'm a mixed race fella. My father is Chinese-Malaysian, but my mother is normal. So, don't worry, you got a little sour cream on that chili. That's right, 29 years ago, my parents had themselves a mixed race baby, and boy, did that baby get big. I want my own babies now. Got to that point in my life. Oh, I love a baby. There, I said it. I love a baby. Guys never say this for whatever reason. I don't care. I love a baby. Love a baby. How can you not love a baby? They're so cute. Their stupid little faces. The wobbly legs. I love a baby. I want to be a daddy so baddie. That's my phrase at the moment. I want to be a daddy so baddie. Love a baby. I have a type. Sure, you gotta have a type. Gotta have a favorite kind of baby. My type is fat and confused. That's the best baby. The fat, confused baby. Wah! That's the king of the babies. You ever see those babies going around town, you know, strapped to their parents' chests, just hanging freely. Like some sort of obese Jesus, just just so fat. So confused. Oh. Oh. How did I get so fat? Oh. I've only been alive a week. Oh. Gotta cut down on the milk. I love that baby. Every time I see that baby, I just need to be like, oh, yeah, you're fat confused. Ah. But I can't. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed because I'm a man. I'm a man. And too many creeps with these glasses have ruined it. Ruined it. For decent, baby-loving blokes like me. And it's not fair, because it's not a symmetric problem, is it? Women don't have this problem, you know? If a woman goes up to a stranger's baby and she's like, aw, the parents will probably say something like, aw, would you like to have our baby? I think it's the only time in our society where it's consistently advantageous to be a woman over a man. You know, if you want to enjoy children publicly without judgment. It's not much, ladies, I'll give you that. It's not much. In the grand scheme of things, it's really nothing. But even that I want to take from you understand? Even that small thing. Even that tiny concession you thought was yours. Wang wants. But now I gotta wait to have my own baby. And that's not gonna happen anytime soon, because my girlfriend, she don't want him. You know, she's not interested in babies. Every time I bring the subject up, she starts making excuses. You know, oh, I'm busy. Oh, I don't love you. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I'm only joking. I don't have a girlfriend. Thanks a lot, guys. I've been Phil Wang. See you. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Prakash Daniel. I am a stand-up comedian from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I was invited to perform at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival in 2018, part of the Comedy Zone Asia show. It was an amazing experience for me. I met so many people and I saw so many forms of comedy being presented that it just blew my mind. After the festival is when I took the courage to write my solo show and present it here as well. It was because of me being at the festival and seeing how people do stuff really pushed me to just do my 1 hour special. It's because of going to the festival that it was a life-changing experience for me, I would say.
The Melbourne International Comedy Festival brings in some of the biggest comedians in the world, and they don't come much bigger than actor, TV presenter and stand-up Douglas Lim. And my gosh, some of the most stylish too. Nice jacket, Douglas.
Salutations. I come from Malaysia bearing 2 apologies. The first apology, last year I came with a very nice jacket. This year, I'm sorry for that. Second apology, some time back during the Malaysian Grand Prix, your Formula 1 driver Daniel Ricciardo won. And that sent the Aussie fans apeshit crazy. Because it's not common for him to win. And they basically celebrated by stripping down to their underwear with the Malaysian flag printed on the front, giving it some 3D definition, like blowing in the wind. And they started shouting and drinking from a shoe, and the Malaysian authorities had the gall to arrest them just for practicing their culture. I'm sorry for that too. But because I don't understand what happens, because I've been here for a while now and you know how to behave. I've seen you wear clothes and drink from appropriate containers. I've seen so I don't know what happened, whether you just left your manners here before you come to Malaysia, or do you just adapt to ours very quickly? I'm not sure. But I've been here, this is my 3rd time at the festival. I've been treated very, very well. And I think I know why the Chinese like to be here. It's because you have Asian elements scattered all around to make us feel at home. There's a Chinatown in Melbourne, in Adelaide, in Sydney. Amazing. Here's some trivia. China has many things. You know what it doesn't have? Australia Town. No one does. China doesn't give a fing shui fuck about you. Why are you being so nice? There are so many Australians living in Malaysia. What have we done for them? Nothing. There's no Australia town, there's no little Melbourne, there's no Sydney Street. The only thing remotely Australian we have is Kuala Lumpur. Which isn't even intentional. But not you, no, you're very nice. You're too polite to even, try and be racist towards me or try and stereotype me. I mean, the fact that my English solo show is held at the Silk Room in the Chinese Museum is completely coincidental. But here's something that happened. I performed there last year as well, and this is very surreal, and I'm telling this for the first time. So I'm there looking at the artifacts about the Chinese Museum, a lot of Chinese here during the gold rush years. And imagine my shock when staring at the photographs, staring back at me, was the face of my great-grandfather, who I was told died fighting the Japanese, leaving my great-grandmother to care for my grandfather and 12 siblings by herself, when all this while he was living it up down in Melbourne, sipping lattes and taking photographs. Now I know the truth. I think he was tricked to coming here, though. I think what happened was he met an old, rich Australian lady who was holidaying in Malaya, as it was called then. He fell head over heels in love with her, and she said, "Why not follow me back to Melbourne? Be a gold digger." And the dumb Chinaman thought it was a metaphor. Malaysia's good right now. We just changed the new government last year. You're not very impressed. I hear you do this every fortnight. But things are looking up now, and if I got more jokes, if you want to hear them, you can come to Malaysia or the Chinese Museum. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful festival. My name is Douglas Lim. Terima kasih.
Hi, this is Joanne Kampopo, Malaysia's Queen of Comedy, and what I love about the Melbourne International Comedy Festival is all the white men I get to... No, not that. All the diverse comedians from so many different countries coming together for laughter.
Next up, a young, gorgeous and humble up-and-coming comedian who took the stage by storm at last year's gala. Oh my gosh, it's me. Here I am with some jokes that my dad loves and my mum, well, you'll see.
Wow! Thank you. Hello, I'm Lizzy. I'm 37. Thank you. I look amazing. I do. Yes, some say I'm Asian gracefully. No, it's good to be out and about again, but I miss travel. My gosh, I miss travel. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to go to Japan. Such a great place, highly recommend. A lot of people go for the culture, the food, to buy pants you don't have to take up. But personally, I love Japan because everybody tells me how good my English is. But I guess in context, I could be Japanese, you don't know. A lot of people ask me where I'm from, and as a kid, it happened all the time. And I got so sick of explaining myself that I asked my mum, I was like, "Hey mum, can I get a shirt made up that says my mum's Australian, my dad's Chinese-Malaysian, and I'm Lizzy from Brizzy." Cute, huh? Yeah. And she said, "Yes. That's a great idea. I want one too." Because she was this white lady walking around with 3 Chinese-looking kids. Everyone would ask her, "Oh, where did you get them?" Was it an easy process? So Mum, she just wanted to get her own shirt that said, "I fucked a Chinese guy." Shout out to my dad, Chan. He loves that joke. My mum hates it. Oh, look, I know my life is getting back to normal because I've started saying yes to things I don't want to do again. Yeah, my boyfriend, he asked me if I wanted to go on a double date, yuck, with his friends, kill me, to a virtual reality escape room. So unlike regular VR experiences, a virtual reality escape room is the unique combination of two loser activities. Yeah, you have the virtual reality goggles for the trippy visuals. You know, we were fighting velociraptors with bow and arrows, landing on the moon. Oh, we're in ancient Egypt. This is so real. And then you combine this visual weirdness with the stress and anxiety of a hostage situation. I should have just taken acid and wandered through IKEA. Put a pasta colander on my head, arm myself with some lint rollers and start rubbing people up and down. That would have been a better use of my money. Thank you so much. I'm Lizzy. Have a great festival.
Here's Douglas Lim with some festival tips for first-timers.
I'm Douglas Lim. I'm from Malaysia. I am here as an international comedian. I'm not a globetrotter, but I've travelled quite a lot of places. Melbourne was the only place that made me actually think, I could leave home for this. You get a Malaysian to admit that Melbourne food is as good or better than Malaysian food, you've really done well. I like performing at the Chinese Museum. It's very cozy. I think we've got about, 6 rooms or something like that here. You could come to the festival and just spend 4 hours at the Chinese Museum and you could watch 4 shows. If you're coming to the Melbourne International Comedy Festival for the first time, the festival runs for a month. Be a bit more loose with your choices. There are all these comedians from different countries and different cultures. So it's kind of like a sushi conveyor belt of comedy and culture. You can just grab small bits of when, if you like one, go for an udon or something.
Hi, Douglas. Thank you for joining us.
Hello everyone. Hope everyone there is safe and well.
You were born and currently live in Kuala Lumpur. What is the comedy scene like in Malaysia?
The comedy scene now is still very much in its infancy. We have officially probably 2-3 clubs that can be known as comedy clubs doing live stand-up comedy shows every week. And they're all based in Kuala Lumpur. So it's a lot better than what we had 10 years ago, which was 0. So it's encouraging. There are some very young, passionate stand-up comedians, some who have performed at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, like Rizal and Gezo, and they're helming these clubs back home here, and they have uncovered a lot of new and exciting talent. We also have now stand-up comedy in Malay, which is our national language, which is something unheard of like 6-7 years ago. So everything's quite exciting right now.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I can't wait to come over and gig there.
Come lah, our borders are open already.
What comedy did you watch growing up?
Growing up, you must understand, when I say growing up, this was before the internet. So, we didn't have very many avenues or platforms for comedy. I remember having a VHS tape passed around. It was Eddie Murphy's Delirious. And we had to watch it in secret because a lot of cuss words. And Malaysia, we're quite traditional in that sense. But it was just so fun to have that VHS and to watch it. We had to watch it over and over again. Then much later, I managed to purchase a comedy CD from the UK by this, I think he's a Scottish comedian called Billy Connolly. And so that's pretty much the only 2 bits of comedy that I had. Oh, and Mr. Bean.
All such very different styles. I love that. How do people get into comedy in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, most of the time you stumble into it. We've got some pretty popular reality program stroke competitions. where it's kind of like Last Comic Standing, where they look for comedians usually in the Malay language. In English, for comedy in English, you basically just go to the clubs, you do open mic nights, and you get better. And most people do it as a part-time job. So there were very few fully professional, wholly dedicated stand-up comedians in Malaysia. Which is why when I was at the festival, I heard you had this thing called class clowns, and I was very interested. I said, these are children doing stand-up, or like you had, this person who's performing now, she actually graduated from the class clowns project. I'm like, what is this class clowns? And you guys do some. I don't know if you realize how special this program is, because in Malaysia, and I'm sure in a lot of places around the world, funny kids are not encouraged. Funny kids are disciplined. You are told not to be funny. Don't be funny. But somehow some guy had a bright idea where you are, where you say, hey, telling a funny kid not to be funny is futile. They are going to be funny. So let's just use that energy, channel it properly, and develop it. And who knows, you get world-class performers coming out after that, after years of proper training and proper guidance and instruction and encouragement. I wish we would look into this as well, because I was one of those kids who was told not to be funny.
No, I don't believe you.
No, I was.
So how did you get into comedy?
I started my career in comedy on TV actually, which is a bit of a reverse. A lot of people start as stand-up comedians doing the club circuit, and then they get a big break and make it on TV. I started on TV in a sitcom, so I started off really as a comic actor. Decided I really liked it. I liked the fact that it got a reaction very quickly, even from the crew members, or sometimes the live audience that we would have in the studio. And from then on, I moved to being a humorous MC, because we used to have English-speaking MCs, but they were usually very serious, a lot of pomp, for grand events, and so they were looking for a more casual MC who could maybe make a few jokes. So then I did that, and from that I graduated to doing stand-up comedy.
Wow, what a role reversal. TV, then MC, then comedian.
Yeah, it was the other way around. So I was kind of famous before I did stand-up.
Oh, well, that helps, I think. So Melbourne Comedy Festival sends Australian comedians to Malaysia as part of their extended comedy roadshow tour. What should the comedians expect when they visit Malaysia? And what should they expect from the audiences there?
They can expect a lot of local audiences to come out. I've been to the shows, the Melbourne International Comedy Fest roadshow, and I assumed that there'll be a lot of Australians, like teachers in our international schools and expats working here. But the locals turned up quite strongly, and Malaysian audiences are known for their, I use the word kindness, so they won't boo, they don't heckle, they will sit politely and watch you and give you every opportunity you deserve. However, if you're not funny and you don't capture their attention within the first 3 minutes, you get a very eerie, kind-hearted stare at you, which can be quite scary, because at least if they're heckling, you got something to throw back. Malaysians won't do that. They won't even boo. They'll sit quietly and they will stare, and if it's really doing very badly, they might get up and leave.
So brutally honest. I love that. So you have performed at Melbourne International Comedy Festival on a number of occasions. What is your favorite thing?
Well, first of all, it's being able to entertain my fellow countrymen who have either moved to Australia for work or for studies, or even have migrated to Australia, to Melbourne. We've got a pretty a large Malaysian contingent living over there, I really enjoy bringing some jokes from home to them. I watch them laugh, but then also in their faces, that feeling of missing home, just a little bit. I mean, they made the right decision, but you know, they do go, yeah, I remember that from my childhood, and so that's always very nice. It's a nice feeling that I have. It's not just, you know, performing a joke, getting the laugh, but this is getting that emotion of my you know, of Malaysians who are there, and having them reminisce and be nostalgic. That's one. The other thing I like performing in Melbourne is there's a type of audience there that does not exist in Malaysia. In Malaysia, when you do a comedy show, the people who are in the audience are there specifically because they want to watch you. They saw your name on the program and they're like, we're making this a night out. All our eggs are in this basket, so this guy better perform, and he better perform well because I'm here specifically to watch this person. In the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, however, you have people just walking in, not knowing what to expect. They just say, yeah, I walked past, I saw your poster, I thought I'd drop by. And so that's always very nice and very heartwarming for me to perform to people who just walk in, want a good time.
Yeah, that's cool. They're like, who is this Douglas Lim guy? Let's go see him.
Yep.
They don't know that you're
They
like
have no
super
idea.
famous in Malaysia.
I was there for the Comedy Zone Asia, and I was the last guy to go on the stage. It was such a fun show. I had my friend Rizal Van Gazel who hosted the lineup show, and it was such a weird opening night for us because I expected a lot of the Malaysians to come out. They only showed up like halfway through the festival. So the first 15 shows were Asians, a lot of them, but who had already been living in Melbourne for quite a while now, have been working here for quite a while. We had people from India, Vietnamese. A lot of Vietnamese showed up. So they were very kind. And also very giving, I remember. All of us, we were so nervous performing there for the first time, the Asian comedians. We had some from India, Jinx was there from Singapore, and they made us feel very, very welcome. Performing at the gala was so scary, and the memory is going to be forever etched in my mind because we don't have a theatre like the Palais Theatre where the seats go up this way. And so walking on that stage and seeing a sea of people who had no idea who I was very scary, and getting that first laugh, you know, within the first few sentences was vital, and thankfully I got it, and it's something I will always remember and cherish.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. It's amazing. You did such a great spot.
Thank you.
So Melbourne is Australia's cultural capital. What else do you like to get up to in Melbourne?
I think every Malaysian, if they're watching this, they're gonna guess the right answer: food. I'm so sorry. Okay, if you're the nature-loving type, I'm sure Melbourne's got a lot of stuff. I went on the to visit the penguins. That was quite nice. I also went on that long drive, and you see the sea.
Great Ocean Road.
That one,
Yep.
yeah. So if you like nature, I'm sure that's really great. I just spent my time at Victoria Market trying out all the food. The guy that sells mussels from a van, he's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the Malaysian way. It's just food, 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 food. Seafood.
So sorry.
It's the
I wish I
fresh
could contribute
seafood.
more to Melbourne tourism. Unfortunately, all I have is all these food places.
Well, that's fine. Have you got any hot tips for where to eat in Melbourne?
Okay, well, there's one Indian place. It's called Gaylord's. I heard it's moved. It's no longer where it used to be, but oh my god, the Kashmiri naan. I have never tasted anything so heavenly before, and their butter chicken. I eat so much butter chicken, but that one was something else altogether. There's this place called Rue Galette, which serves incredible crepes. It's in a little alley. with fake grass, but by French, and it's done by French people. It's very delicious, very good. And yeah, I mean, any Vietnamese restaurant in Melbourne is not going to disappoint. I had my first banh mi in Melbourne during the festival, because in Malaysia we have. I thought it was banh mi. So banh mi is something completely different. It's a noodle in Malaysia. So we went over to say like Vietnamese banh mi. And what is this? And it's a sandwich. But oh my goodness, it's a sandwich with lemongrass and spicy flavors in a sandwich.
And pate. And
yeah.
It's like our national sandwich, I would say now. So good. Oh, did anyone write those down? Thanks so much for the chat and for answering all the questions, and we really hope to see you back in Melbourne, maybe next year.
I hope so too. I hope to see you all next year. In the meantime, have a wonderful festival, guys.
Thank you. I hope this has given you a glimpse into the amazing diversity of one of the biggest comedy festivals in the world. I've been Lizzy Who. That's not a question, just my name. Thanks for watching.